All right. I'm living alone during the coronavirus shutdown, clampdown, whatever you want to call it. And in order to amuse myself, I amuse myself. And one of the things I can do to amuse myself is to produce videos like this. I got to keep my face up so that the light doesn't go right on the glass of the eye shades. And tonight, it's about 7:30. Jeopardy's coming on, and I'm skipping it for this. You know that's a big deal. I don't know which of my cousins might come up on Jeopardy tonight. I was thinking, playing the guitar and all that, it's very complicated. And I don't really think of myself as a poet, but I've written some poems. And in fact, a couple of years ago, Andreas was in town with his friend Bruce McLuther. And they dragged me to a poetry reading thing, a spoken word night, open mic night at the Belmar, which is kind of like the towny bar in town, as opposed to the gowny bars on State Street. Although there's a lot of, osmosis going on there. I used to go into I met some very interesting people in the Belmont, I'll say that. Anyway, we went to what my brother John calls the father and son poetry slam. And I read some of my poems, and he read some of his raps, but without a beat, so that they become poems. And I was very impressed, because my banjo poem has a line in it that says, "The bane of tight-lipped preachers forever." And it's close to my heart, that line. And one of Andreas's friends, a 20-something guy, said, "I really like that line." So, you've really written a good line when it transcends generations. So again, I don't think of myself as a poet, although I've written songs and I've written poems, etc., etc. I have a huge collection of poetry here that I'm not going to use, actually. 2 days from now is Bob Dylan's, 93rd birthday or something, May 24th. So, and since he's a poet laureate, a Nobel Prize winner in literature, I thought I would read one of his poems, because any of his poems are much better than my poems. His harmonica playing is not better than my harmonica playing, but his poems are, okay? In fact, I'm in a couple of harmonica groups where there are guys that, Dylan is shit on the harmonica. And if you think he's good, you're shit. And they're all idiots. What are you going to do? What is it George Carlin says? Think of it, the average person is really stupid, and half of the population is dumber than that, or something like that. So anyway, I want to read the introduction to this. I posted it online. Many years ago, I had a gig at a place here in town, the Midnight Moonlight Cafe, which was a wonderful place. When I finished up, Andy Kipp, who was handling the music, gave me another date and asked me if I could learn Desolation Row. Turns out he was joking, sort of, and just named the longest Dylan song he could think of. But I went to Barnes & Noble, found the Dylan lyrics book, and hand copied the song. I still have not learned it all, okay? I've got my little bed table here. It's very, very convenient. I've got a ginger ale in a Guinness glass. What did that Guinness commercial say? It's not about raising a glass, it's about raising up each other. I just love beer commercials. They don't have to be about anything. They really don't have to be about anything. So I've got an Elvis Nixon card as a bookmark. Don't want to be without that. It's like a card. It's like a St. Christopher card or something. I just looked it up. Bob doesn't play any harmonica on this song until after the 9th verse, I think. I'm not going to go by that. I might just play a little bit along, between verses. He's also backed up by Charlie McCoy on guitar, not on harmonica. And Charlie McCoy Charlie Guitar is an entire different story. Charlie McCoy probably has the record for doing the most sessions in Nashville or any place of any human being. So. That's from my cousin Christine. They're selling postcards of the hanging. They're painting the passports brown. The beauty parlor's filled with sailors. The circus is in town. Here comes the blind commissioner. They've got him in a trance. One hand is tied to the tightrope walker. The other is in his pants. And the riot squad, they're restless. They need somewhere to go. As Lady and I look out tonight from Desolation Row. Cinderella, she seems so easy. It takes one to know one, she smiles, and puts her hands in her back pockets, Betty Davis style. And in comes Romeo, he's moaning. You belong to me, I believe. And someone says, you're in the wrong place, my friend. You'd better leave. And the only sound that's left after the ambulances go is Cinderella sweeping up on Desolation Row. Now the moon is almost hidden. The stars are beginning to hide. The fortune-telling lady has even taken all of her things inside. All except for Cain and Abel and the hunchback of Notre Dame. Everybody is making love or else expecting rain. And the Good Samaritan, he's dressing. He's getting ready for the show. He's going to the carnival tonight on Desolation Row. Now Ophelia, she's neath the window. For her, I feel so afraid. On her 22nd birthday, she already is an old maid. To her, death is quite romantic. She wears an iron vest. Her profession's her religion. Her sin is her lifelessness. And though her eyes are fixed upon Noah's great rainbow, she spends her time peeking into Desolation Row. Einstein, disguised as Robin Hood, with his memories in a trunk, passed this way an hour ago with his friend, a jealous monk. He looked so immaculately frightful as he bummed a cigarette. Then he went off sniffing drain pipes and reciting the alphabet. Now you would not think to look at him, but he was famous long ago for playing the electric violin on Desolation Row. Dr. Filthy keeps his world inside of a leather cup, but all his sexless patients, they're trying to blow it up. Now his nurse, some local loser, she's in charge of the cyanide hole, and she also keeps the cards that read, "Have mercy on his soul." They all play on penny whistles, you can hear them blow, if you lean your head out far enough from Desolation Row. It's another good Dylan tune. God on our side. Across the street, they've nailed the curtains. They're getting ready for the feast. The Phantom of the Opera, in a perfect image of a priest. They're spoon-feeding Casanova to get him to feel more assured. Then they'll kill him with self-confidence after poisoning him with words. And the Phantom shouting to the skinny girls, "Get out of here if you don't know Casanova's just being punished for going to cut Desolation Row." Now at midnight, all the agents and the superhuman crew come out and round up everyone that knows more than they do. Then they bring them to the factory, where the heart attack machine is strapped across their shoulders, and then the kerosene is brought down from the castles by insurance men who go check to see that nobody is escaping from Desolation Row. Praise be to Nero's Neptune, the Titanic sails at dawn, and everybody's shouting, which side are you on? And Ezra Pound and T.S. Eliot fighting in the captain's tower, while calypso singers laugh at them and fishermen hold flowers. Between the windows of the sea, where lovely mermaids flow, and nobody has to think too much about Desolation Row. And in parentheses it says here heartbreak. So, can I play Which Side Are You On? It's in a minor key. No, I can't. There's a little bit of Along the Watchtower, but not really. Yes, I received your letter yesterday about the time that the doorknob broke. When you asked how I was doing, was that some kind of a joke? All these people that you mentioned, yes, I know them. They're quite lame. I had to rearrange their faces and give them all another name. Right now I can't read too good. Don't send me no more letters, no. Not unless you mail them from Desolation Row. That's it for tonight. Maybe shoot me a PM or something if you want. If there's a particular poem you want me to read. I've got 3 volumes of, I think, cowboy poetry and cowboy poems in other books. I've got a Robert Service, a collection of Robert Service, Cremation of Sam McGee and all that. I don't have a Kipling book. When I was little, when I was young, we had a Kipling book. And I think I memorized most of Gunga Din, a lot of Gunga Din. And Rag and Bone Shop of the Heart. And I got a book called, by Bill Moyers, that's a collection of different poems and stuff. So if there's a particular poem that you like, come and hear it. And tonight I'm wearing a very special shirt. It's pretty patriotic, I think. I can't read it backwards, but it says, God bless America, proud to be American. And I got it. Can you see that? It was the Mine Hill, New Jersey American Legion post, and my band Route 66 played there a long time ago, 2001 or 2002. And it was raining kind of, and there was trouble with the sound system, which is not my department. I play pedal steel, and I did the one Elvis song. So I was hanging out with these Vietnam vets, smoking cigars, and waiting for the barbecue to, I think they were cooking ribs, or maybe it was a pig roast, I don't know. But I was talking to these guys who had all been in Vietnam. And they were so much fun that I thought I'd buy a t-shirt from them. The American Legion, nowadays they're not controversial. Of course, in their founding, they were hanging wobblies and stuff like that. So they've chilled. Now they're just those baseball leagues, cheap beer at their posts, and scholarships. Okay. All right, I have to go make dinner, I think. So, bye-bye.